Several years ago, I represented a young serviceman who was injured as a result of someone else's negligence. He was riding on the base at Fort Bragg, and someone, a civilian, ran into the back of his car and injured him. Well, Allstate Insurance Company took a look at his case and decided he really wasn't injured. He did not have much damage to the back of his car. That is, not much visual damage to the back of his car. And he was treated on the military base at Womack Hospital and then at one of the clinics there on base. And servicemen get their military medical services for free. They don't have to pay for it. And so he did not have any bills to show for his claim. He did go to a chiropractic physician in addition to the doctors at on base, and that doctor treated him for several months and helped him a lot, but unfortunately he did not recover completely. The doctor testified that he had permanent injuries. Although his injuries were what the doctors call and lawyers call soft tissue injuries. That means it's an injury that you cannot see on x-rays, and of course only the victim can feel what's going on. These are the kind of cases that insurance companies usually deal with by trying to pay very minimal damages, and they claim that that if you can't see an injury, if there's not a broken bone, if there's not bleeding and not scars, that someone's not injured. Well, Allstate Insurance Company offered this young man a small amount of money. I believe it was something like $2,000. He had medical bills. The chiropractor's bill alone was $3,000, not even counting the bills at Womack and his medical service bills. He was a very reasonable young man. He tried to settle his claim on his own, and he was willing to settle his claim for $5,000. Allstate Insurance Company laughed at him and said, "You'd never get $5,000. Now, Allstate's insured, it was a civilian, so the insured had liability insurance. The claim was against the civilian, and she had a minimum $30,000 insurance policy. So Allstate was looking at a situation in which their maximum exposure they felt was $30,000. And so they had offered this young man a very low settlement. Well, because they would not offer a reasonable settlement, we went to court, and the jury returned a verdict of $54,000 for his soft tissue injuries. And with interest and cost, it brought the total up to something like $57,000. Well, Allstate Insurance Company paid every dime of that, even though their insurance policy was just $30,000. And the reason was that Allstate Insurance Company had a duty to its insured. It had a duty to the young lady who rear-ended my client to settle the claim for a reasonable amount and to keep their insured from being exposed to excess damages. And it just shows the protection that we all have with a jury trial, because jurors, for the most part, do the right thing. And in this case, the jury did the right thing for this young serviceman.